For the last 2 years since No Way Home's release, we have all been waiting for Spider-Man 4 announcements, and while we have gotten some bits and pieces here and there, it's been a sort of frustrating process because of a couple different things. Mainly, I think the problem is that essentially Tom Holland has been shit-talking for the past 2 years, and you're probably like, Scarlet, what the fuck are you talking about? Tom Holland has been shit-talking for the last couple years. Well, catch a grip, listen closely, because I'm gonna explain why. Because of things he's not only said in the past couple years previously, but as well something he said in a brand new interview regarding his 4th installment of Spider-Man in the MCU. So we'll be discussing that and also the future of Tom's Spider-Man in general, so stick around for that. So let's start off with this brand new interview and break down why he's essentially just bullshitting and what exactly he means. There's a brand new interview press conference thing Tom Holland had with Collider. We cover Collider pretty often on the channel usually. The title is Tom will only play as Spider-Man again if it's worth the while. Now just off that title, everybody is like kind of, freaking out and shit, and again, we're gonna get to why he's just spewing out bullshit essentially. So the article says, during a recent press conference with the Critics' Choice Association attended by Collider's Christina Radish, Holland mentioned the following regarding his next appearance as Spider-Man. Tom Holland then goes on to say, all I can say is that we have been actively engaging in conversations about what it could potentially look like for a 4th rendition of my character. Whether or not we can find a way to do justice to the character is another thing. I feel very protective over Spider-Man. I feel very, very lucky that we were able to work on a franchise that got better with each movie, that got more successful with each movie, which I think is really rare, and I want to protect his legacy. So I won't make another one for the sake of making another one. It will have to be worthwhile of the character. So now we're gonna break this down, but first let's get my point out of the way on why he's been saying shit like this or whatever, and like why he's wording it in these weird ways or whatever, and like what he's saying essentially with this specific interview is half bullshit, but like it's half the truth, right? Ever since No Way Home released, right afterwards, not too long after, Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, and as well Amy Pascal, Sony executive and producer, have came out and said, yes, Spider-Man 4 is happening. Okay, right? You following? So No Way Home obviously set up the Venom symbiote and as well him going to college, so we pretty much know that's what we're going to be expecting in this new trilogy. And then not too long ago it was reported that Tom had actually signed his new deal to play Spider-Man. It's a 6-project deal: Spider-Man 4, 5, 6, Avengers Kang Dynasty, Avengers Secret Wars, and then a mystery project we don't really know anything about. Keep in mind, I believe he still does have one more project left from his old deal as well, unless they renegotiated that, but who knows what's up with that. That's kind of in limbo right now. But yeah, so Spider-Man 4 is gonna come out and be like a grounded film. Then the Avengers movies will happen. He has been reported to have a leading role in Avengers films, or Avengers King Dynasty to be more specific. More on all that stuff later. But Secret Wars, he's very likely going to get the symbiote, since that's what happened in the comics, and obviously Marvel Studios doesn't always do comic accurate, but I think this is one of those situations where they have to, for the most part, follow the comic route, because it's just iconic. Where he first gets the symbiote in Secret Wars, he uses it for battle because whatever he has on his own is pretty out of his league against everybody else, plus his costume will probably need repairs as well. Then Spider-Man 5, he's gonna return to Earth, of course, and have the symbiote probably still, because they gotta have like just his own solo movie with the symbiote on his own or whatever. Who knows what else will go on in that specific movie, whether or not they save Venom for 6 or they decide to do it in 5. Anyway, with that being said, Tom for the last couple years, again, he's just been saying, oh, I don't know if I want to play Spider-Man anymore. Maybe I'll pass the torch. If I don't play Spider-Man anymore, I'm glad I got to do it. This, that. Bro, you signed the contract already. The movie is happening. Unless you can somehow get out of your contract, you're doing these fucking movies, bro. I don't know what he's trying to do with saying all this shit for the past couple years. He's already signed the deal. So Spider-Man 4, 5, 6 and his cameos in Avengers and whatever other projects are happening. That being said, I do understand for those who don't understand, he's also essentially saying in this specific interview, I want to do Spider-Man 4 as long as it's going to be a great movie, because I want to protect the legacy of my Spider-Man. That's totally okay. I totally agree. That's cool, man. I respect that. But cut the fucking I'm passing the torch, I don't know if I want to do this anymore shit. Bro, you signed already. It's happening. Like, there's no way it isn't. They're just, for some odd reason, taking their sweet fucking time, even though we did have the strikes happening, so that kind of put a halt to things. But yeah, so there's that. Like I said, he signed signed a new contract for 6 projects, his 3 Spider-Man movies and the 2 Avengers movies. The question is, what is that 6th project? It has to be a team-up project. We just don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna put my money on a Daredevil cameo or maybe a Fantastic Four cameo, and I'm gonna explain the Fantastic Four cameo in a bit, but I think either of those would work really well. But when is Spider-Man 4 coming? We still don't know, but 4 months ago we did recently go over some release dates that Sony has reserved for a couple Sony Marvel films, one of those dates being November 8th, 2024, and the other date being June 27th, 2025. And if the November 8th, 2024 date sounds familiar, that's because that date now belongs to the newly delayed Venom 3, which we discussed in yesterday's video if you did miss that. But that second date could very well possibly be for Spider-Man 4. The only thing is that that date is a couple months after Fantastic Four's current release date of May 2nd, 2025. And it's crazy because I just realized this, like, as I was making this video or whatever. Fantastic Four originally was set for November 8th, 2024, but it got delayed probably because of the strikes or whatever, and I guess Marvel said fuck it, take that date for Venom 3, Sony, and we'll go for another date. I feel maybe this is connected. Maybe I'm reaching though. Maybe I'm reaching. I think maybe Spider-Man could make a cameo in Fantastic Four right before showing up in Spider-Man 4. That would not be a bad idea at all. Or another possibility is maybe Tom Holland's Spider-Man will go up against Tom Hardy's Venom, and here's why. I don't recall if I covered this, probably not, because this came out like a few days after Spider-Man 2 came out and I was busy, you know, like making my playthrough at the time. But over on Twitter, My Time to Shine Hello did tweet out, I can't wait to see movie Venom and Tom Holland's Spidey fight sooner than you think. Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, I would much rather prefer Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tom Hardy's Venom to fight each other, but you know, it is what it is. It's been like almost 20 years, I think, since we've seen Venom versus Spidey on the big screen at this point, when Spider-Man 3 came out, 2007, right? Yeah, we're about to be in 2024. Yeah, so it's been almost 20 years, so I'll take what I can get as long as it's decent. It's just weird because, like, okay, so obviously we know Venom ended up in the MCU for max, what, maybe a day or a few hours maybe even between Venom 2 and No Way Home post-credit scenes, right? So Venom knows about the multiverse now, he knows about Spider-Man now, cool. The problem is a couple things. One, he left a symbiote in the MCU, and that's fine, but the problem comes with the second thing, which is if they do have Tom Holland fight Hardy's Venom before Spider-Man 4, before Secret Wars, why would Peter want to get a symbiote after that, knowing what it can do and what it's capable of and all that stuff? Or am I digging too deep into this? You know what I mean? And I'm sure Tom's Pete would probably remember Toby saying he fought an alien made of black goo. So I don't know, I feel like maybe Holland versus Hardy isn't the best idea, especially story-wise. So yeah, there's that. And we also did hear, if you don't remember, that Tom will be the lead of Avengers Kang Dynasty, not the Avengers as a whole, just that specific movie. He's gonna have a lead role though. And I mean, I think it makes sense because most of the main faces of the MCU are basically gone, like Steve Rogers Captain America, of course Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Black Widow, etc. Although there have been, you know, floating rumors that they will come back for Avengers Secret Wars. But yeah, well, what do you think of all this? What are you hoping to see for Spider-Man 4? Do you think it's a good idea to have Hardy versus Holland fight each other in Venom 3? With that being said, I want to hear your opinion, so make sure to comment down below so I can interact with you in the comments. Thank you for taking time out of your day to click on this video. If you're new to the channel, I try my best to cover Spider-Man scoops, rumors, leaks regarding Spider-Man media, and whatever else I'm interested in. So if that's what you're into, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 5K. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Hope you ever had a good day and that you enjoyed the video. Until next time.